Okay, so we're back here. This game has gotten out of hand. I'll tell you, this is pretty... It's gotten a little on the frustrating side, only in that I've played some games recently in History Maker that also got this way, and so this is where it's just starting to... Hi, Ken. It's starting to... what's the term? Get old in that way. It might be interesting for those who are watching and either Pirates fans or non-Philly fans, but we are in the bottom of the fifth. It is now 7-1. The Pirates are in the process of taking it to the Phillies. I forget if I rolled McLeod. I don't think I did. Oh, what I did, I now remember. I had a balk check, and it was not a check. Hi, Derek. He did not balk. So, but McLeod is at the plate, and I was trying to decide whether or not we're playing the infield in here or if we're going to try and get the double play. With McLeod, he doesn't do much grounding into double plays, so let's play the infield in here. Madsen on the mound. Kendrick was chased here in the fifth, and things have just have not gotten much better. 3-9 with the infield in. Ground ball to pitcher B. So where is my little result chart? Infield in, runners at first and third, ground ball to pitcher B. To 7, batter safe, lead runner is out, so that is a good result for the Phillies there, as they will get... Well, I'm unable to keep anything up here at the moment. Trying to put things... Alright, so pitcher 1-2 comes home with it. Fielder's choice. So first and second, 2 outs now. And it's going to be Freddie Sanchez with a chance to maybe drive in a run, maybe drive in another run too. On top of that, 3-5. Ground ball to second, and Madsen will emerge, having only given up the runs that were going to be charged to Kendrick. 3 runs in the inning. That's going to be 7 earned runs given up by Kyle Kendrick, and we are going to go to the 6th. Matt Cy Young Morris still on the mound. He's only given up 1 run. So 7-1. Philly scored 8 in this game in real life. So top of the order, it'll be Worth 4-9 against... So he's a righty, and here we go, 1-2 home run chance. That'll be a double. Maybe Morris will finally start giving up some base runners here. Greg Dobbs, runner at second. 2-6, ground ball to pitcher B. Let's see. Runner at second. Let's hit the first. Yep, he's gonna have to stay. 1-3. Chase Utley, 0 for 2. And the D20 is leaning there. We're gonna re-roll. That's a 3. So 4-3 against a lefty. Ground ball to pitcher X, so that is going to be Morris is a 3-0, 3-18. That will be a G1, I assume. Yep. So that's another out where he gets to look back. Worth at second, and so Ryan Howard with 2 outs. High statistician 112. He's hit by the pitch. Bring up Pat Burrell. He already had a ballpark home run chance, which in this conditions, righty home runs on the ballpark checker, nada. So 4-8 against a righty. And Pat Burrell may get a triple out of this. 1 to 12, a triple. It's a 17. That'll be a double. That's going to score Worth. And Howard gets a running start. They're probably going to try to score him here. So that was to center field. Double to center. So, let's see. That's McLeod, a -1 arm. So Howard was not being held on. So 1 to 10 becomes 1 to 11. And 2 outs makes it 1 to 13. Subtract McLeod's arm, 1 to 12. So they're going to send him. That's nice, statistician. So 1 to 12, and Howard will score, and Burrell would end up at third on the throw. And he is thrown out at home. 8-6-2 ends the inning. They only get 1 run out of that. 2 hits. 2 doubles and only 1 run scored. 7-2. Wait a second. Guess I wrote that down there. All right. 7-2. And tough way to end that inning. We're going to have Madsen continue pitching here. Jason Bay against a righty, 4-5, fly ball to left. First out. LaRoche, 2-6, and LaRoche cranks one. This one's long, and that one is gone, a home run. And they punch back on that home run they just gave up. Now 8-2. Xavier Nady. Didn't need to roll the D20 there. 4-4, that's probably a catcher X. Nope, fly ball to center field X. Worth 3E3. 3-2. Boy, the rain keeps dropping here in Pittsburgh on the Phillies, and that's going to be a double. Pittsburgh is shellacking them right now, just pounding the cover off the ball. Minkiewicz. Another 4-4, this time against the lefty. Another fly ball to center field. Let's see if the D20 can actually help the Phillies this time. And it's a 5. Single 2. You know, this is enough to make someone give up tabletop gaming. Polino, 3-6. Ground ball, pitcher B, so that'll be a 1. I'm only kidding about that, partially. Let's say 1-4, fielder's choice. It's what I won't say give up on tabletop, but it does make you consider giving up on a project when you start having crap like this going down. So, and that's not tears, that's just snot for some reason. I'll tell you, I almost gave up on it before when the Phillies got into a funk. Because, you know, if you're, and I think what I was finding was that it's really tough to keep going with something when you have a vested interest in the team you're using. And that's what's happening here. And the thing about the Tenacious League was I didn't have a horse in the game. So Jenkins, yeah, I think it says in the rule book it's whatever you choose. What does this say? I missed the Man, I need to get these comments up. I'll get it after the inning. So 4-7 against a lefty. That's a double. By the way, it's 9-2 if you're keeping score at home. Chris Coast. And a 5-6 against a righty. Single would be 1-11 with 1 star. And how about that? A good roll for the Phils. And the Pirates are going to start getting their bullpen working. And let's see, they're going to get Frankellis Osorio, or Osoria, pardon me, working. And so first and third. I'll tell you what, I'm seeing comments here, so I gotta fire up my Kindle's, I gotta find where my YouTube is, so I can and this Kindle always takes a long time. To refresh that. Okay, so I'm going to check out the comments here because I'm interested, because they don't, I'm using the YouTube app. So let's see. If it makes you feel any better, I just started a 10-team league for the 82 season because of you. Oh, nice, Brent. Yeah, that definitely makes me feel better. I guess this means you won't be doing a Phillies replay next year. Might not be doing a Phillies replay much longer this year. All right, so Bruntlet, I forget if I rolled these. Let's roll them anyway. First and third, they were going to play the infield back, looking for 2. They'll give up a run here. 4-8 against a righty. Okay, well, Bruntlet could get a triple out of this, a 1-12, and so I think this will be, yeah, that's a triple. It's going to score 2 runs, and I think that's going to be it for Morris. He held off till the 7th inning before he started blowing up. And after 2 innings of work, Madsen will have to come out of the game, and we'll have to find another. They'll get Chad Durbin going in their pen. And the Pirates, they're going to bring off Morris. Morris gets a standing ovation, even though he gives up 2 runs in this inning and doesn't get an out. It's going to be Osoria. And I think they will... They are going to do a double switch here. They're going to bring in Jose Bautista. So we got to do this. 3E22, and then the pitcher, it's going to be Osoria. He will go in Mintkevich's spot. And I'm going to cross this stuff out here so we know not to look if we have one. So, all right, so we got to put Joey Bats there leading off the next inning. And Mintkevich, he's going to take a seat on the pine. Okay, and Madsen's day will be done as Kendrick. Hi, Tribe fan. Kendrick, he's going to be pinch hit for. And it's going to be... So Taguchi. So that will be against Osoria. So here is Osoria's card. Runner at third. Again, they'll play back. They'll take an out here if they can get it. So Taguchi against Osoria. 210. Oh, and another good roll for the Phillies there. 2-20, a double. The run will score. Taguchi with a pinch hit double. 3 across here. And it'll be Jason Worth with Taguchi at second and nobody out. Worth against Osoria here. And a 5-9 against a righty. That'll be a ground ball to short. X will not move the runner unless it sneaks through past Bixler. He's a 4E42. And with Taguchi, will they be holding him? They will. We'll say they would not be holding him at second. So it'll be a 4E42. 4 and a 7. Phillies may catch a break on this one. G3 just barely misses the single. Now what is his? It's a 42 and a 10. No error. If they would have been holding him, then that would have been a single 2-star. But they weren't, so the runner will be able to advance, though, on the 6-3 as it's a G3. So with 1 out, runner at third, Greg Dobbs at the plate. 2-2, ground ball to second C. They will take the out and let the run score. So it's now 9-5. And Chase Utley at the plate. And a 4-5 against a lefty. Let's see. Only 1 hit, so no. So that'll be another ground ball to second, and that will be the end of the inning. There we go. Little Dolly Dabney Coleman humor there. Nice. It's actually 9-6. My bad. So the Phillies have pulled it back here to within 3. Osoria brought in with the double switch, and maybe they shouldn't have, as he's looked a little worse for the wear. Durbin. But he's rated for 2 innings, so they will use him for a second inning if they can get away with it. But they probably will get somebody up in the pen. Yeah, you're probably right about that, Derek. I work about 6 to 3 or 6:30 to 3:15, something like that most days. Yeah, Madsen, he went 2 innings. So bottom of the 7th. This is the 7th inning stretch. And we're just taking a minute here to do a little bit of house cleaning, because Taguchi will not stay in the game. Durbin will come in. And he will face Jose Bautista, who came in the double switch. So against Durbin, here is Joey Bats. 2-7. That's a ground ball to short, and that'll be the first out. Nate McLouth. 1 for 3. Also walked. He scored a run. Stolen a base. 112. And he lines out to second base for the second out. Can the Phillies get a quick inning here and maybe try to build on some momentum? Freddie Sanchez, 6-5 against a righty. Ground ball to short. Bruntlett, 3E21. 3-11. He will get there, and then it's a 13 on the E21, and he makes the play. All right. 9-6. If a Pirates fan is going to question anything at this point, it will be me sticking with Osoria right now. And they will... I think they will keep him in for now. They will get John Graybo warming in the pen. But they will let, here in the 8th, they will let Osorio face Ryan Howard. 3-run lead, so not a ton to worry about at this point, but let's see. So Osorio, the righty, against Ryan Howard. And a 6-3 against a lefty. Ground ball back to Osorio, 3E48. Is he going to reach on an error? So from the pitcher's card, a 10, 3-10, that shouldn't be the issue. It's the error check. Such a G3, nobody on base, but there's an 8 with an E48. Oh yeah, 1 base error. And here comes Pat Burrell. They're going to bring Graybo in for Jenkins when Jenkins is up. So here we go. Runner at first. Nobody out. Pat the bat. 6-5 against a righty. And that's a ground ball to shortstop. 6-4-3. Double play ball. That's a big help. And they're going to set Graybo back down. They're going to let Osorio pitch to Jenkins here. 1-7. 1-8 would be a single off of Jenkins' card. It's a 10. That'll be a ground ball to second, and that will retire the side. The Pirates will get Matt Capps up and working for the 9th. And Pittsburgh will continue to face Chad Durbin here. So it'll be Jason Bay, Adam LaRoche, and Xavier Nady. Bay is 1 for 4. Bottom of the 8th, it is 9-6. Save situation coming in the 9th unless they score some runs. 3-5, that's a single. And let's take a look at who they will pinch run for Jason Bay at this point. Niger Morgan. So we're going to put B here. Put a little star there so I know. So Niger Morgan will come in, and he will likely play left field. He's definitely going to play left field in the top of the 9th. So, and Morgan on. Durbin a -2 hold. Cancels out the +2 on Coast. Basically, a 12 keeps Morgan from getting a lead. So they have to hold him on. And so it's a 1-15 chance. A 1-13. Well, there's nobody out, so let's go ahead and roll with LaRoche. 3-9. That's a strikeout. So now with 1 out, definitely they're going to try and steal a bag with Morgan. 1-13 chance if he gets the lead, and it's almost a given that he will. And he does. So 1-13 roll on the D20. And he is safe on the stolen base. The Pirates will also get Ryan Meek warming in case this becomes a non-save situation. So Xavier Nady with 1 out, runner at second. 2-2. He's hit by a pitch. No movement there, no injury. So the pitcher spot is now up. They're gonna be removing the pitcher anyway. They will pinch hit with Luis Rivas. They're gonna give Dumit the complete day off here. So C is going to be Rivas. Pinch hitting for Osorio, first and second, one away. And the pitch. And a 2 on the D20, chance for a passed ball. But Coast has a 0 rating for passed balls, so that's not going to happen. So we re-roll everything except the D20, 4-6 against a righty. Ground ball to third base A, that is going to help the Phillies. That'll be an around the horn double play. And so they will go to the top of the ninth. 9-6 save situation. Durbin's going to be done regardless. It's going to be Matt Capps coming in here trying to get the save. Osorio went 2 innings. Did a respectable job, seeing that he came in with a runner on third and nobody out. He did give up 1 run of his own, but also survived an error, his own error. All right, so Matt Capps going to look to shut down the Phillies. And the Phillies will... They will let Coast hit here. Against a righty, 4-11, fly ball to center. That's 1 out. Brings up Eric Bruntlett. They're going to go to Pedro Feliz. Pinch hit for Bruntlett. Whoops. Yeah, it's going to be in here. Feliz against Capps. 2-10. That's a ground ball to third base. 2 outs. And the pitcher spot. And they will have TJ Bone hit. Kind of a trick card here, but hey, with the 3-run deficit, we'll go with it. TJ Bone, as you can see, against a righty, he can get some hits, but you need to get off of the 2 or 3 column to do that. So we'll see if he can get a roll on that. It's a 1-8 fly ball to left field B. That will be who came in there? That's Nigel Morgan. He will make the catch. And that will be it. Phillies go down 9-6, drop to 11-14, and 1-2-3 in the ninth. Easy save for Matt Capps. So, you know what? I guess part of the issue with getting upset with things is when you realize it's going to happen. So I got to the point there, I'm going to turn this around, got to the point eventually where I pretty much accepted, you know, it's sort of this, dealing with loss, depression, whatever you want to call it. There's the stages of dealing with loss. And so I was probably going through that in some kind of a messed up fashion. And so you get to the ninth and you hope, but you're basically accepting this isn't going to happen. And so the Pirates take the first 2, and they are hitting the ball pretty well. And the Phillies couldn't take advantage of Matt Morris when Matt Morris was in the game. So Capps got an inning, Durbin got 2 innings, and that will be it for this game. So, aside from a little bit of poor sportsmanship on my part, which in my book, I think we all feel that way at times when we're going on a team that we're, not often does somebody video tape or whatever you want to call it, stream themselves playing their favorite team, it definitely adds a layer of animus. Is that the word? Animosity. When things don't go your way. But that's quite all right. I think it's natural to feel that way. We're trying to simulate things. The record in real life at the moment would be the exact opposite. 14-11. They're now 11-14 in this replay, and I don't think there's anything. I don't think there's anything different that I could be doing. I mean, maybe I'm managing the other teams more straight up than I should. Maybe the other teams are trying to small ball some stuff when they're just cranking. I don't know. The other thing that happens here is that teams, this is an average for each player throughout the whole season. If the Pirates got in a funk before they faced the Phillies, or while they faced the Phillies, they might have, that may contribute to them doing crappy. I mean, Matt Morris should have given up a lot more hits than what he did. He gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He gave up 8 hits. It didn't seem like he gave up that many, but in the 6th, Howard was thrown out at home. That may have been reminiscent of the way that Odubel Herrera was thrown out at home a couple nights ago against the Cardinals. If you saw that, he ran through the stop sign. I told Howard to go, and it was a 60% chance, and the 60% chance didn't work. So that was a hit that went by the wayside. There were some hits that were sort of like singlets, and then you got 3 right at the end that piled up before Morris was taken out. But again, we brought in Osorio for the Pirates, and he was able to. He did give up a double on his first batter to Taguchi, but then Worth, Dobbs, and Utley all grounded out, and then that was it. Everybody. There was an error in the next batter for Osorio, but then double play and grounder, and then Caps with a perfect 9th. And Kendrick gave up 5 hits in the first and 4 runs off of those. So all singles, but all singles with 2 stars. So when you do that, it's bad luck, and my assumption would be that you would have to think the Phillies will eventually make up some ground where they lost it later in the season. Like, they would probably go. I'm sure in real life they went in a slump that maybe we will catch some games, but maybe not. Maybe they'll face some teams that stumble when they didn't stumble in real life. So we'll see. I'm not too worried about it. But in the moment, it does start to rattle you a bit. So I don't know. I saw a question. I think what I should do. Let me just see if I can find it here in the channel comments. So I had right here Mark Tully. I believe he's from the UK. Here's a comment that he left on another video. One of the Thimble. Just wondering how you do your recordings. I've watched quite a lot of your videos. Wouldn't mind doing some games live or recorded and then uploaded. Never done it before. Don't have any equipment. Have any tips, advice? Well, my advice is, I think my setup is somewhat makeshift. If you would go to Tenacious Strat, there's a YouTube channel that's Tenacious Strat. I do have a video about my setup there, but what it amounts to, and I forget the exact name of this thing, but I can actually pull the camera and turn it around. There is a jack here that I use. It's not a jack. It's a clamp. You use it for like probably cabinetry or something to try and like hold pieces of wood together as you're gluing them. Hi, Larry. So you know, this is repurposed from that. I bought this several years ago to use, like I said, to glue some drawers, I think, in my kitchen. And you know, I've seen a couple people have some struggles trying to use one of these mounts that you have for the iPhone. And so that's what I use here, is an iPhone. But this thing seems to work. And occasionally I'll have the darn thing drop, which is you know, a possibility. So if you ever watch one of my videos and you see this boom, and you know, like we fell off a cliff, that's what happened. The phone decided to take a tumble. But then I have a vise that is I guess I should show you the rest of it here too. So there's my Kindle that I constantly complain about, but there's the comment that I'm telling you. This is the setup. I build it with some you know, 2x4s, and I'll have a little, I can do a little short aside on this. See, I stuffed a little power strip in there for different things, power cords. But see, so I have this. Here's a book that I have. Here's the vise that I use. Maybe if I should put it from this side, you can see a little better. The lighting's not so great, but there's just a simple vise with this big long clamp that's, like I said, it's used for woodworking, to stabilize something that you're trying to glue, or I don't know, maybe even hammer in. Let me turn this around so you don't have to look at the clamp. It's bright orange, like a traffic cone or something. But that's my setup. 2x4s. I just wanted to mention that actually there's some 2x4s. I think there's a 2x8 there as well. If you look here on the internet, go search on it. And some of you guys are in Chicago that might be watching this. I know that Benny Blades, he's there. But anyway, out there in the Illinois, Chicago area, whatever, there's a company, or there's a law firm that's getting a class action lawsuit against, I believe it's Home Depot and Menard, because they have, now get this, this is earth-shattering, because people went to Home Depot and the other place. I guess Lowe's must already account for this, but you know, they went there to buy some 2x4s and maybe 2x2s, and it turned out that they weren't actually 2x4. They were like 1.5 or 1 3/4 by maybe 3 3/4 or something like that. Yeah, I mean, it's a huge surprise, I guess, for anybody who has never purchased wood, that they don't sell you 2x4s. But because Home Depot and the other place, because they don't say the boards may not be cut to exact spec, you know, that means that, oh, we've got to lawsuit them, we got to sue them, we got to take them for money. Which that means, what that really means is that these lawyers have to extract their 30% or whatever. The people who actually supposedly got confused at the stores, they probably get, you know, a very small fraction of that payout. And guess what we get to do? We get to pay more for our goods at Home Depot and actually at all of the home improvement stores, because you know, as soon as someone raises their prices, everybody will, because that's just the way economics work. Supply and demand. And it's just, it's the costs. I mean, granted, I'm sure you will point out to me, and this is true, whatever they're suing for is probably just a drop in the bucket for what Home Depot, you know, makes in profit every year. So do they really need to jack their prices? No, but they will anyway, because that's just the way it is. That's called, whether it's inflation, but anyway, so check it out. It's one of the most absurd things you'll ever see. If you've ever done any kind of like carpentry, I mean, this room, you see the framing up top there, and well, that's not framing, but you know, like the framing over here. I did that myself. Yeah, you might get surprised if you try to measure things from the end of the boards and try to put, like, you know, your standard, you know, stud width between them or whatever. Yeah, you might get a surprise, but I'm hoping that a judge throws that right out and tells the lawyers to go suck on a tailpipe and hold it for a while. Sorry. Anyway. Apologies to any lawyers out there who, especially class action lawyers. Some of you do good work for people, but there are some who are just out for themselves, and that is a lawsuit that does not need to be levied. And so there you go. There is my diatribe for the day. You know, go find a company that's dumping toxic chemicals into the environment, then sue them. That's better use of your time. Don't sue poor you know, Home Depot just because everybody since the 50s has sold 2x4s and every other type of lumber that they sell. It's not a 2x4. Grow up. Learn. Be a productive member of society, not one that turns us all into freaking morons. And that's what we are. So anyway, that's my little fun diatribe for the day. Thanks for watching, everybody. Phillies lose 9-6. They drop to 11-14. They will rebound one of these days, I assume. And maybe when they do that, I will feel a little happier. I'm still pretty happy, but it does get to frustrating you when your team that you're trying to replay and get them to the World Series like they got to in 2008. It's not happening yet. So, all right. Have a good one. Peace, and Strad on, everybody.